don't stop. In your eyes, I see a fire lighting up as we're getting away. There's no going back and I'm not in the chase. Where you go, I follow. When I'm giving up, never hitting the brakes. There's no going back and I'm not in the chase. You remember I asked you to meet in the middle. Now I'm here all alone again. You remember I call you. You were talking in riddles. Now you're lying to me again. You think I'm going crazy, but I'm not missing you. I only miss the illusion you pretended to be. I'm not acting crazy. I just said we're through. Baby, you gave a lot. What about trust? What about all this time you looked in my eyes, babe? What about commitment? What about all the empty promises? Oh, what about? Oh, what about? How could I be so stupid when I got all the signs? I guess that is love. Now the red flags are lucid, and I know that I'll be fine. I guess that is self-love. You think I'm going crazy, but I'm not missing you. I only miss the illusion you pretended to be. I'm not acting crazy.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just Streamlabs being a prick and refusing to pick up the sim using game capture for the first time in the longest time I can remember. But anyway, we've got it all working now. I've just noticed from what Middy's just said as well in chat, Fly Live Studio doesn't seem to like the INIBUILDS A310 at all. Reading some really weird shit, including, aircraft.ui module, or mode, and then bulk, then a whole heap of other shit that I can see that you guys can't see, but it's hilarious. The other thing that I also remembered that I didn't install, and I remembered it once I had already taken the thumbnail and set myself up here at Kabul airport, was that I have in fact not added the sound file fix for multiplayer for the A310 yet. Did everything else, new livery, the whole kit, but forgot probably the most important part. But I mean, you guys are probably used to me forgetting important shit by now, so I'm not going to spend too much time apologising for that. It just adds to the fun related to the streams, I guess. The other thing that I've noticed as well is that my flight LTL traffic mod thingamajiggy that you get from fly-by-wire is not very accurate because I have Austrian Arrows Dash 8 400s on the ground here at Kabul. Now, I am no expert by any means, but something tells me that a Dash 8 400 from Vienna to Kabul, which is a distance of about 6 hours, 7 hours of flying, probably not legitimate. So I will also do some research into why that's the case, because it uses Flight Radar 24 data to position itself correctly with the correct aircraft and all that. So I'm curious to find out why mine isn't doing that, because I'm pretty sure I also saw... when I was taking one of the other thumbnails for an upcoming A310 flight, I was in the middle of Africa and I had Chinese domestic airline 737s just chilling. So again, pretty sure that's not correct. But anyway, I guess I should say, g'day ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. If you are new here, g'day for the first time. If you're not, g'day for, well, the second time or more. I'm Brycel, or just some Aussie, depending on who I am, where I am, and what I am. And I just got one question for you. How the bloody hell are ya? I hope everyone's doing fantastically this afternoon, evening. I don't know what to call it anymore. It's 10 minutes to 5 p.m. In my part of the world, so it's kind of on that, is it afternoon or is it evening? Nobody knows. And honestly, I don't really care because, it's not really going to affect me. All that really matters is the weather is horrible, so I'm not going outside, and instead I'm in here streaming. So, the only thing that could go wrong is a power cut or loss of internet, which, doesn't seem to happen too often, fortunately, touch various bits of wood. But obviously, g'day to Middy, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Hope you're going well, mate. I know you're not going to be here for this whole stream, and that is all G. I can also see everybody's favourite man in the background. He's actually showing up in a 737 because of the FS traffic flight model LTL, UTL thingamajiggy that you get from fly-by-wire. It means that those in multiplayer actually display as the correct aircraft if that aircraft is included in the traffic mod. So that, shout out to, I can't remember the company that makes it, but whoever they are, shout out to you for fixing a potentially annoying issue that had been occurring for so long in Flight Sim, where you had to own the specific aircraft to be able to see other people in multiplayer. And now I can see Sean is in a 737. I can't see his livery, but that doesn't matter. They've fixed a problem that most people thought was probably not going to be fixed for a long time. So I will most definitely take it. Now, I haven't flown the A310 since the last stream that we did. However, I did promise you guys that I would at least get a better understanding of the systems within the aircraft before the next stream. And I have done that. Am I confident? No. Would I call myself an export? Well, I definitely wouldn't call myself an export. Put me in a package and send me overseas. I'll try that again. I wouldn't call myself an expert in it either. Have I managed to turn on the ground power, the APU, and the IRS? And I don't mean the tax people, I mean the instrument system. Yes, I have. Because it's not really very different to the A320. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit there, I'll be honest with you. But at the same time, I will take it. The only thing that sort of appears to be is that it doesn't quite appear to be working for some reason. It's asking me to align the IRS, but as far as I'm... Oh, hang on, let's actually get a proper viewpoint here. Right, there we go. Where are they? They're further. Yeah, they're further up. So there's IRS 1, IRS 3, and IRS 2, and they are all on. So I'm honestly not sure why we... Ooh. That's really annoying with the camera, actually. Yep, no, they are all on nav, so I'm really confused now as to why we are not getting any IRS aligned, because they are 100% where they need to be. Interesting. But hey, at least the APU and the ground power and all that is at least functioning the way it should. But mildly confused as to also what the hell is with my... I was going to say it's just stopped moving. Why does that zoom in and out? That should be up and down. I don't understand why those buttons are all of a sudden keyed to zoom in and out when that's what my mouse wheel is designed for, as you can now see as I zoom out 400 miles. Still won't let me tilt the camera any further up. That's... So I'm just... Yeah, so all my IRSs are correct. And that's correct as well. Why are we getting no GPS then? That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Because this is the part that I learnt how to do, and I had all good, at least in my brain anyway. You know, this is the part that I learnt, was how to turn on the APU and ground power and set up the IRS, and it hasn't worked, so I don't look like I've learnt it at all. Fantastic. To be fair, I did actually promise that I would know the ins and outs of the aircraft before we did our flight from Taiwan to Kai Tak, so I'm technically not full of shit, even though I'm full of shit. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, the yoke's on me. Exactly right, Jit. Exactly right. Yep, so APU running, external power connected, parking brake on, but the GPS primary is not good for some reason. Very, very confused by this. And the other part of the problem is because I can't get the camera to pan up any further like it should, I can't actually read, like I can see that these two buttons are IRS system display and they appear to be on system, and that appears to also be on system, so they're not wrong. We may have to cheat here again because that's... Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if I just click on APU, if I can then still do the engine start and the MCDU stuff and all that. Because at least if I click that, it'll at least show me what I screwed up as well. So, yeah. Okay, so we have an IRS fault. Why do we have an IRS fault? See, I knew something wasn't right. Alright, so they're all in align mode again. And it's no longer showing up that there's an IRS fault. So I guess we just wait. To help, it's like martial arts style for bread. Jeet Kundo. Ah! They killed the baker, so his apprentice vowed revenge. His enemies are toast. Hang on, a movie you produced in 1990. Okay, G. Now you've really got me curious as to who and what sort of life you may have lived prior to making your presence known on the channel. You have very, very, very much curbed my interest. Mitty says, I never knew you had a son. I didn't either, Mitty, so unless you're pregnant, yeah. What am I missing in relation to aligning the IRS, I wonder? Because it should only take about 10 minutes or so in a worst case scenario to align the IRS in a Airbus aircraft. Believe it or not, this weird angle is allowing me to read what the IRS buttons are saying. Ground control, is that what that button is? Ground control to Major Tom. Okay, I have no idea what is wrong with the IRS, other than the fact that they probably chase people illegitimately for unpaid tax, but that's a whole nother conversation to be had. Yeah, when I say the IRS, I don't know what's wrong with the IRS here on this, and I don't know also what's wrong with me and what I'm missing. Other than, obviously, brain capacity. Yeah, we might have to cheat this one further than just APU on, because, yeah, that's... I mean, clearly we know it's me, because if I click ready for takeoff, it automatically aligns itself, problem solved. So we know that the issue is something that I'm doing wrong. But the problem is I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because the tutorial I watched on how to start the GPU, APU and get the IRS aligned didn't have any instructions further than what I just did. And it's not working. So I'm just gonna cheat. There we go. So what is different, I wonder? Nothing is different. except the align mode button is, for some reason, no longer illuminated. That's the difference. I don't know how they did that. I don't know how they did that. Hey, g'day, Mr. William Kelly. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing bloody good. Yes, Mitty, you are pregnant, Mitty. You wouldn't do anyone you wouldn't do. I mean, you know, I make exceptions to the rules, Mitty. I make exceptions to the rules, mate. Jeet says, dough can be soft, hard, crispy, sweet, or savory. Be the dough. Viva la bread? I don't know. Viva la pizza. That's something I can get behind. Viva la pizza. I think the Italians might have an issue with that catchphrase because it's not in any way, shape or form Italian. It's French, and, well, the French and the Italians have always had a bit of a rocky relationship in the political side of things. But we're going to go with Viva la pizza. Come at me, Italians. I've got enough blood to say that as well. Enough Italian blood in me. Nearly 1/4, I believe, based on my DNA test that I took during lockdowns. So come at me, Italians. Oh, I love having scenarios where you can just be cheeky AF because you have the back. You have the backup to allow it. All right, well. Yep, I think the aircraft may have been started now. What do you reckon? It sounds like there's 400 diesel generators in the cockpit with us. So that, I'm going to say, is a pretty good sign. I guess we need to... So, V1... with why is V2 set to 100? There is no way that this plane is getting off the ground at 100 knots. I feel like there's, you mean initialize weights? I don't want to initialize the weights yet. I'm not ready to do that part. I haven't even set up a friggin' flight plan yet. Initialize weights? Not allowed. Thank you, Airbus. You are so helpful. Asking me to initialize weights. That's... This might help. Hopefully this helps. Right. So I've cleared initialize weights. Now, we are going from... Oscar, Alpha, Kilo, that's correct. I was going to say that's not correct, but no, that is correct. And we are going to Oscar, Alpha, Hotel, Romeo, beautiful, alternate route, doesn't matter. Nav, Acura upgraded, no worries, that's amazing, we'll just clear that message. Flight ID is going to be 123, not 33, 123, perfect, in flight ID, and that's simply because we're doing a milk run, and milk comes in 1 litres, 2 litres and 3 litres. So that's my reasoning behind 123 as my flight number. Sorry, it's a terrible reason. I know. Right, then William says, does that mean long live the pizza? Which pizza? My slice or yours? Or the pizza. Well, just long live pizza in general, William. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty standard thing that everyone can get behind. Pizza should always be a thing. It should always exist. Mitty says, watermelon. But I got watermelon to keep me. There's so many sketches that he does, I can't even remember. And Cheat says, I'm back, my hot girlfriend. Ooh, that was terrible on my behalf. I usually do that better. I can say that on the internet because there's no proof otherwise. Yeah, my hot girlfriend need her kiss goodnight before I went back to watching the stream. Very, very gentlemanly of you there, Jigs. Mitty says, India, Quebec, Hotel Trivago. Exactly right, Mitty, exactly right. Hotel Trivago. Brett Plays says, anyone got the AFS timer on? No, for two reasons, Brett. First reason, I don't have a first reason. Second reason is I'm not Oz Flight Simmer. Right, so we are going to be cruising at flight level 350, format error, great. So, in an A320, that will automatically figure out the wind and the temperature and all that stuff that is required for the filling in that. And I've become lazy. And I also still haven't signed up to SimBrief or Navigraph, which, again, is anybody actually surprised by this? I'm not. Alright, so at least the plane now knows that we are at Kabul and we are going to Herat. That's a good thing. What the plane doesn't know is how we are going from Kabul to Herat, and that is hopefully what I'm going to fix here. So, first up, I would like to clear a flight plan discontinuity. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Cleared. Next up, we would need to enter all the waypoints, and there's a few. There is quite a few waypoints. So we're going to go Romeo, Alpha, Lima, Oscar, Yankee. Yeah, cool. You can have as many flight plan discontinuities as you would like, Airbus A310. We will delete it when we're done. Then I want Mona Lisa, I don't know, uniform, X-ray, India Echo, beautiful. Oh, cheers, G. Appreciate that. Not that I really am probably going to do anything much with it, because technically don't need it to complete the flight. However, it is, shut up to my bot. Seriously, I'm going to strangle my bot. Not sure how I'd actually do that, but figure it out. Kilo Alpha Romeo, oh heart thou Romeo. Yankee. That's actually meant to be oh art thou Romeo, not heart thou Romeo. I know it sounded like I stumbled over my words, and that's because I did. Then we want Kilo Uniform Lima Tango Alpha. Then I want Victor Uniform Victor Echo November. That's very similar to Vruden, actually. Vuven. Would you like to fly to Vuven? Or Vruden? Then I want Kilo Alpha Delta Victor Indigo. Beautiful. Then I want Romeo Uniform Tango Alpha Bravo. And then I want Alpha Lima Papa Hotel Alpha. I actually want Alpha. Ah, shit. Where are we right now? We are... Yeah, we are. We're 69 degrees east. And we are... 35 degrees north. Right? Okay, so none of those waypoints that are alpha none of those alpha waypoints match up with our current... Oh, the reason they don't match up with our current location is because I'm not looking for them on my current location, am I? I'm looking for them at the previous location. So, I actually want either 62 or 63 degrees east and 34 degrees there. I think that Alright, I found it. It's that one. God, that was technical. Yes, it is. It most certainly is killing your WX report there, Jeet. It's just being a prick right now, my bot. An unnecessary prick as well. Brett says, when did moaning Lisa take over from Mike? I couldn't think of Mike in the split second that I... So, Mona Lisa was in my brain. Why? God knows. If I tried to explain things that occurred in my head, I'm pretty sure that I would be getting a knock on the door from the government very, very soon going, excuse me, sir, we need to escort you to a specific premises. So, Sierra, India, Echo, Romeo, Alpha. I'm seeing a theme. Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't expect this. At least there's not 75 million choices this time around. There's just a few. That puts us there, which almost puts us in line with the runway, which is fine because the approach to Herat is D and E anyway, so I don't need anything else in there because I'm going to have to hand fly it after Sierra. Perfect! Alright, so we'll make sure that our speed is set to less than 250. Go with 230. We want to go all the way to 35,000 feet on this one. By the way, Jeet, can I, in relation to our conversation that we were having yesterday evening about you wanting to contact me more about the yoke, and I want to obviously give you a hand with Discord. Sorry, I just realised the continuous relight is still on, so I need to turn that off. Can you give me your email address in Discord so we can actually make that conversation happen? Because I know you said you wanted to, but you never actually shared it with me, so I cannot do much. Right, let's turn off continuous relight. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. There we go, that's better. We don't want the engines continuously relighting for the whole flight. Now, where is the... So that's the flaps, that is arms, I think. Or maybe it's not arms. It is armed. Cool. Flaps lever. Yep, we got 15 degrees of flaps. Perfect. Alright, I think we are ready to Uber our way to the runway here. Just figure out our plan of attack. Because the active runway is 29. Where are we parked? We're parked there, so we need to go out and then right. And then right. And then left. Cool. Okay. Alright. Well, without further ado, let's get out of here, shall we? Gmail, you've got my username. You mean I've got your username? I'm a little bit confused by that. Can I have pushback, please? My God, I've seen lines move faster at the fucking sperm bank. Sean's going to send Ariana, Afghan Airlines, a bill for how long it took for pushback then. All right. It is edging forward ever so slightly. Well, that's just stop that occurring. You crashed a desktop, Sean. Isn't that wonderful how that feature appears to have returned since Sim Update 11? It's almost like Asobo was like, you know what? We feel like one feature that flight simmers are missing is the crash to desktop. Oh, right, gee, okay. Understood, mate. I will send you an email either sometime during the stream or after the stream. Now that I know that. I'm gonna try and avoid putting my wings through your tail there, Sean, but no promises, mate. No promises. Oh, I've done it with ease. Never mind. So there's a All Nippon Airways A320. There's an LTU on the ground here, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure LTU no longer exists as an airline. So, anyway, that comes back to me having to obviously make some modifications to that flight traffic injector thing, because right now it's not realistic. Like, some of it's realistic. Hang on, as soon as I make this turn, I'll be able to point out what is realistic. So, over that plane, the last one that's in the very back there, the 737-800, that is a Somon Air, and that is the national airline of Tajikistan. They operate flights from Dushanbe to Kabul. So, that's legit. That 100% should be here on the ground. The LTU A320 is not completely out of the question, other than the fact that the LTU is no longer an airline in service, because A320s from Germany to Afghanistan is a legitimate thing. So it's got some things very, very right, and it's got some things very, very wrong. Time to brief my passengers. Use your posh voice. My posh voice? Jeet, I'm an Australian. I don't think we quite know what a posh voice is. Sorry to all the other Australians who may have a posh voice. Just straight under the bus. But don't worry, I'm driving. Actually, do worry, because I'm driving, and that probably means the brakes no longer work and half the bus is on fire. And I have no clue what this... Whoa, hello. Well, fly to... Sure. No idea what that airline is. If anybody wants to Google fly to, that may also be legit. Probably as simple as clicking this. Oh, there we go. FSLTL traffic. That's the plugin that I'm talking about. Once we're up in the air, I'll have a bit of a play with that. It is running. Most definitely is running. How do I know it's running? Because it's sitting in the bottom, right next to my flight simulator icon on my PC. So, hate to be the bearer of bad news, Microsoft Flight Simulator, but FSLTL traffic injector is 100% running. So in real life, Ariana Afghan Airlines uses their Airbus A310 to do services from Kabul to Istanbul and from Kabul to Dubai, Doha, that part of the world, you know, the Arabic part of the world. Usually this flight, Kabul to Herat, would be flown on a Boeing 737-400, but there is currently no Boeing 737-400s available for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, we'll take the A310. It's just an excuse for me to fly a passenger service in a country that, you know, probably doesn't get much airtime and stream time and flying time within the sim. Really, that's essentially all I'm doing here. Sean's probably like, can you just find the goddamn accelerator? Yeah, I am going a little bit slow, aren't I, Sean? Sean also appears to have contrails on the ground. But yes, Sean, I can give it a little bit more jandle. Because, to be fair, we were taxiing mighty slow. Posh, meaning your formal tone of certainty. like a BBC4 radio announcer reading the headlines. Yeah, either that or Sean's brakes are smoking because he's been riding him the whole taxi to the runway because I've been taxiing so slowly because Airbuses tend to taxi on idle power. I love it how Sean's like, taxi is walking pace as it should be. Here I've been taxiing the whole time at walking pace, doing the right thing, just completely blown the runway hold position. We're going straight onto the runway, not stopping, not passing go, not collecting $200. Because realism. Alrighty, let's ground taxi maximum 25 miles an hour unless you request a expedited taxi speed and are approved for it. Positive rate, gear going up. World's quietest A310 on the exterior. God, this thing goes space shuttle status. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really, really like how it goes, but there's also a, you know, element of, okay, calm down. Making sure that everything is yep, I saw that happening, problem solved. Don't worry, the aircraft will keep that under control now. I agree with you, Jeet. I agree with you. Yeah, tell the singer that if he wants to know where do we go from here, look at the goddamn flight plan. Absolutely. I don't think I was quite prepared for the scenery leaving Kabul to be quite this spectacular, but there we go. So I wonder if, because Sean is not in the A310, we can up the exterior noise a bit. Yes, we can. That's a bit more realistic, because the A310 is renowned for being extraordinarily loud on the exterior. Alright, so we are now above 10,000 feet, I believe. We are, so we are going to give it some juice. Also need to turn my barrow to standard, but I can't see. Whoa, hello. Can't see my barrow. So that's a problem. That's the standby altimeter. Where is my barometer? That bug is not patched yet by Microsoft Flight Simulator. That bug is patched by somebody on flightsim.to, I believe, and also a link that Sean sent to me, but in my haste to get this livery installed and a thumbnail taken and then put up in Discord and a stream setup, I forgot to actually install the sound file fix. Is here. G'day, Lena. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing fantastically. Mitty says, yes, I don't have anything in life to do. I don't know if that's a cause for celebration, Mitty. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if that's a cause for celebration. Maybe I operate in a different way to the way you do, but hopefully there's no surface to air. No, Jeep, that would be potentially catastrophic. So yeah, hopefully not. Mitty says, and on that note, my plan to go to the city today is on the fence. Tell it to get off the fence. It's lazy to sit on the fence. Probably going to be cancelled. I see. Well, could look at this in two ways, more than two ways, but I'm going to look at it in two ways, Mitty. Firstly, you can be disappointed about the fact that the city is, is cancelled, and that sucks. And as you said, you don't have anything in your life to do, which, or you can look at it from a positive fashion and be like, but you get to watch just some Aussie streams in a day. Even though you got to watch 3 like a day ago. But just forget about that. So basically, as far as I see it, that's your 2 options. There's another, 75 different ways you can look at it, but they don't matter, okay? Yeah, there's 2 today. So we're flying Ariana spontaneously because I finished work at a really good time, which enabled me the time to actually set up a spontaneous stream, like yesterday kind of thing. And then we have a World Adventure stream scheduled for later on this evening in the Twin Navion. That joke brought to you by Kamikaze Airlines. We go out with a bang. Well, I mean, look, at least Kamikaze Airlines is following their business plan. Jig, at least they are. Just testing to see if my view maneuverability thing with the up, down, left, right is also a thing on the exterior aircraft. It's not. Lena says, genuine question, are any of these adult sites bots spamming your streams nowadays? They were, Lena, and then I did this amazing thing that I recommend every streamer does. I made my chat subscribers only. And I don't have any bots anymore. Problem solved. I know. My genius, to quote Jeremy Clarkson, sometimes my genius astounds me. People lived in these snow-capped mountains as far back as 8,700 years. Ah, damn, that's actually a while. So that's in the 1200s. Yeah, so that's exactly what I did, Brett. Made it that people only had to be subscribed for 1 minute. And so far I haven't had a bot in any of the streams that have been subscribers only. It's a shit way to fix the problem because it means that now people are forced to subscribe if they want to join the chat. And I really hate doing that to people because I'm a big believer in, I don't mind if you watch my channel and you're never subscribed. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And now this forces people to subscribe. I don't like that. However, it's a small inconvenience to not have bots in the chat continuously. Oh, you only do it for Truck Sim, do you, Brett? There you go. There you go. Yeah, true, you can delete it in Flight Sim and the others because you're not so occupied with what you're doing in front of you. That's very true. Yeah, there's definitely lots of pockets of generic landscaping below, Sean. I'm going to probably go as far to say that that's because, and fair enough, there's probably not fantastic in-depth, detailed aerial photography available for this part of the world. Yeah. But you can see there's definitely pockets of where it's amazing, and then, I mean, I don't know what it's like for you over there, Sean. Wherever you are on the flight plan, slightly different possibly. As you can see for me, I've got generic here, but then in the distance I've got really good, so yes. I guess it makes sense, Jeep, because yeah, as you said, the snow peaks provided the water, they had the desert valley below where I'm sure there was probably a lot of natural plants that were edible and animals and all the stuff that, so it does make sense that people were living in this part of the world 8,700 years ago. In fact, 8,700 years ago, that's not the 1200s, that would be the 1100s, the mid to late 1100s. Jesus. Literally Jesus, probably. They have resolutions to 1/10 of an inch, just not for public use. Oh, they would be for public use, Jeeps, but they would be for public use for a fee. And that is probably one of the singular drawbacks about Microsoft Flight Simulator, is in the parts of the world where the 1/10 of an inch resolutions probably not, you know, utilised so much, I am in the belief or understanding that that means that they cost significantly more to get your hands on to begin with. So I guess the perfect example there is the US, Australia, the UK, with all of their scenery updates. It's quite easy to get good quality visual scenery down to a low resolution or high resolution, however you want to refer to it as. Other parts of the world, not so much. And I don't necessarily see Asobo spending the money required to get better resolution for this part of the world, because honestly, you probably find not many people fly in the sim in this part of the world. But I actually would be curious to see, in fact, let's have a look, if Google Maps has good scenery data for this part of the world, because Google Maps is usually pretty on it. So, yeah, Google Maps has got very good aerial resolution for this part of the world. So it is available. Yeah, where you are flying is limited access because there's caves there and all that. The aerial photography is available. Google Maps is using it. But yeah, as I said, I just don't see Asobo spending the money that's required to do this part of the world. At least for a long time. There's much more populated, highly flown parts of the world that need work. Hello? What you doing under me? Hey? What you doing? What you doing? Hello? Yeah, the US military absolutely would, Brett. 100%. Do you think the US military is going to sell their photographic data to Asobo? Or Bing Maps? I get the feeling might be just a case of nah. Yeah, the map at that resolution is measured in petabytes. Exactly right, Jim. So, I remember when Microsoft Flight Simulator was released, they stated that the whole reason they had to do over internet streaming for the scenery is because the file size to have otherwise given like the maps as part of the sim would have been about 3 or 4 petabytes in size. So instead they elected to stream it using internet, which, if you ask me, makes sense, because nobody is going to have the storage space, except for the US military and government, to store that sort of amount of data. Sorry, Brett, when I say, I know you guys are talking about 1mm terrain. I'm not necessarily talking about 1mm terrain. I'm just talking, you know, like 10 meters, 5 meters, 2 meters, the stuff that usually gets used for the sim. Even then, I don't see Asobo investing the money in any of that, or Microsoft investing the money in any of that, until the parts of the world that are flown regularly by lots of people are done. Oh, imagine if you could get the, like, imagine if Microsoft could get their hands on the global aerial resolution, the global aerial photography that is down to a resolution of 1mm for the whole, that would be phenomenal. But, as you said, it's not a thing, they can't do it. I was getting a little bit loud out there for. Oh, we can see Sean over there in his 737 just chilling, 38,000 feet. I wonder if I stick my finger out the window if he'll see it. Yeah, exactly, cheat. Basically, they may eventually offer Microsoft Flight Simulator in the ability to obviously store all of the data on your PC sometime in the future. It's going to be a long time in the future because we will have to be able to reliably store petabytes on people's personal PCs, which I do not see happening anytime in the next 15 years. As crazy as technology progression is, that's, what's 1 petabyte? It's 1,000 gigabytes. And I mean, we are at the height right now of what many people 20, 25 years ago spoke of as the future. Like especially in terms of technology for PCs and stuff, you know, we are at that point right now. And 20, 25 years ago, computer hard drives were what? 80 gigabytes, 60 gigabytes, you know, stuff like that. Here we are today. 80 gigabytes, 60, 80 gigabytes, 60 gigabytes, etc. Here we are 20, 25 years later in what many people referred to as the future, and we're only at 8 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes, 12 gigabytes, etc. So, to then be able to do a petabyte or a yottabyte, we are a long way from that. SSDs are going to increase the speed that we can get there because they are so much more reliable than a traditional hard drive, but we're still a long way away. And SSDs will have to get a lot faster as well, because if you're trying to, like, think about it, if you're trying to install or store 1,000 terabytes of data on a hard drive or a solid state drive or a storage device in general, think about the amount of processing power and RPMs and cache and speed and all those things required to access that data at a speed that would be acceptable by people on using a PC in their home. Just couldn't right now. Like, that would take, I don't know, because I'm not an expert on it, but I just look at, you know, 1 million gigabytes or 1,000 terabytes and I'm just sort of a bit like, my 2 terabyte 7200 RPM Seagate Barracuda, which is one of the faster home hard drives that you can put in a PC. When Microsoft Flight Simulator was installed on that, it would take a good 5 to 8 minutes to boot up the sim. And that is just 2 terabytes trying to boot up 300 gigabytes of data. So times that by a stupid amount, and we're starting to talk days, weeks, months just to get that data from wherever it's being stored. I hope I'm making some sort of sense here, because it's only semi-making sense in my brain. I'm hoping I'm at least on the correct path with what I'm saying and don't just sound like a complete dick, even though I am a complete dick sometimes. Jeet says, my first computer was a TRS-80 Model 100 that only had 32 kilobits of RAM. Now I've got 4 2 terabyte 980 Pro NVMe's on my, exactly, with 128 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, and it's, in some cases, exactly right, it's slow. It's insane to say that out loud, but I know exactly what you mean, Jim. I know exactly what you mean. Even with my, system with the 3080 and 64 gigs of RAM and the Ryzen 9 CPU, I sometimes find, like yesterday, when I had nearly 70 tabs open in Google Chrome, and the sim, and all the stuff for streaming, I was getting a little bit of lag doing things. Sean says it is now 6:53 a.m. and he woke up at 4:30 yesterday, so he has no idea what Swahili I'm saying. Luckily for you, Sean, I don't speak fluent Swahili. Brett says, I only have 15 terabyte on my system. Need 985 terabytes more to get 1 petabyte. That's exactly right. So what's that, Brett? Another 30 hard drives or so? It's nothing. What are you talking about? It's fine. You are playing with a toy. Okay, that's all good stuff. It's all good. All I can hear in the background is chomp, 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 chomp. I didn't realise she'd brought a toy into the study, and these doggos are notorious for chewing on things that they shouldn't sometimes. So you can understand my questioning of you. Play nice, you two. I know you guys tend to get excited around this time of the evening, but you're a little bit early. You can buy a 22 terabyte hard drive right now. 1100. Oh, is that all, bro? Yeah, that's ouch. That is ouch. And what? 22 terabyte hard drive to get another 985. Let's, for arguments and mathematics sake, let's say it's 25 terabytes, you know? That's four hard drives to get 100 terabytes. And you want 985 terabytes. So that's 36, 7, 38. It's 40 more hard drives you need, Brett. Plus the fact that they're actually only 22 terabytes means you're probably going to need closer to 45 new hard drives to get 1 petabyte of storage. And at $1,100 per hard drive, you're basically looking at $50,000 or more. just in hard drives. So, not sure I recommend that. Doesn't, yeah, and a way of connecting them as well. Exactly right. So you would need multiple server racks, and then you would need to somehow hook up those server racks to your system, and then you would need to run them in NAS, because otherwise the amount of power required to spin up 44 hard drives separately would mean you would need probably multiple power supplies. Fractal Design makes a case for it. I'm sure they do, Jeep, because Fractal Design makes some incredible stuff. I also get the feeling it's probably not aimed at the home user. Yeah, pretty sure that's not aimed at the home user somehow. Right, so we are just about to come up on our top of descent here for Herat. So Herat is at 3,200 feet above sea level. So I need to be at 10,500 feet when I take manual control of the aircraft. So for argument's sake, I'm just going to be, it says 10,500. I'm going to make sure I'm at 9,900 so that we're doing the correct speed to start slowing down from, so we're doing less than 250 knots is basically what I'm saying. So beautiful. Right, so Jig says Linus had a NAS with 60 hard drives. But again, Jig, that's Linus. Linus is like a multi-million-dollar tech guru with multiple channels and streaming, like multiple YouTube channels, streaming services, multiple deals with various companies and suppliers and service providers. So he's probably picked up all that shit for free or at severely discounted rates. So part of the reason for that, Sean, is and part of the reason why I'm only going to 9,900 is because at that particular part of the flight, the minimum safe altitude is 9,500 feet. So I get the feeling that coming into Herat might be a little bit of a case of some good old-fashioned once you pass the certain point where you're allowed to descend below 9,500, it'll sort of be a case of retard the engines, speed brakes out, lose some altitude quite quickly. That's the only reason I can think of the fact that it's got you at such a high speed at such a low altitude, Sean, because you're quite within 1,000 feet of the top of mountains, and you've got all the, you know, updrafts, downdrafts that can upset the aircraft. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. That's just the way I'm seeing it. So right now the TAT is in icing range. However, I'm not super concerned because there is no visible moisture in the air. There's no clouds or anything like that. So I'm not too concerned by the fact that we are currently in icing range, and there is no ice either. There is also significant thermal changes as you descend. Absolutely there is, Jeet. I mean, I honestly haven't heard of it before, Mitty, but I like the fusion. Italian curry with sausage and rice. I like the fusion because in my years as a chef, and having grown up in an Italian family, I have really started to understand that flavor profiles between Southeast Asia, the subcontinent, and Mediterranean Europe are really not actually that different. They use different spices and herbs and all that, but it's the same general idea. Salty, sweet, spicy, sour, bitter, umami. Why are we descending so quickly? This is going to potentially be an issue here. So I'm going to, instead we're going to descend, because what we were going to do there is we were actually going to drop below the minimum safe altitude, which where we are right now is 15,000 feet. So, yeah. You miss Lenny Henry's show? It's true though. Like, they're really, other than the names and the colours of the various herbs and spices and the methods to creating the dishes, the end result in terms of flavour profile really isn't much different. The Lenny Henry show is that, what's it called? I know what you're talking about. It's the guy who runs the fancy restaurant who lives just around the corner from the restaurant. He's been there for years and years and years and all that. Mitty says, are you a good chef? I think so. Oh, yeah, it's actually called chef, is it, G? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And yes, that would be the stock answer, chef. Yeah, in Oxfordshire. But yeah, Mitty, I'd like to think I'm a relatively okay chef, relatively good. I don't want to go, you know, tooting my own horn and blowing my own trumpet, because I guarantee you, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of chefs out there who are probably a lot better than I am. There's probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds who are worse than I am as well. If I get a wife, would she work in the kitchen? As in the kitchen that I work in? Don't know. Really haven't given it much thought, Mitty. I wouldn't be against it, but I also wouldn't be standing there and being, you know, oh, you must do this. Yeah. Yeah, serious profession. You make a wicked Alfredo. As in the home kitchen, making you food for streams or something. No, Mitty. Most definitely not. What Sean just posted is why. So it hasn't been able to happen for a long time, for a few reasons. Number one, the break that I had to take because I went back to work post-COVID to obviously make some money. Number two, I had to move my PC setup from the outdoor man cave at the back of the garage that I had. Number three, the equipment required to make cameras work over the distance that is required is quite pricey, and when I did buy the USB hub to make it all work, the USB hub died very, very quickly. But what Sean is referring to with that abbreviation at the end, COTF, with the World Adventure flights that we were doing, every time that we would change country, I would cook an entree, a main, a dessert, and an alcoholic or traditional beverage from that country on stream whilst we were flying live. But yeah, haven't been able to make that happen for the reasons listed before. Basically at all in 2022. So behind the scenes, I would research the traditional dishes from that country. I would curate the ingredients. I would practice. I would write a recipe. I would then practice said recipe that I had written based on practices, tweak it, then buy all the ingredients again and stream it. Hold on a sec, G. So, okay. So, from what I'm understanding, Alfredo is what all us Western pricks think is carbonara. A carbonara should not have cream in it. An Alfredo, however, has cream in it. I don't mean to label everyone a Western prick, but it just made sense. Because as a chef, I experience way too many people when I make a traditional carbonara go, yeah, but where's the cream? Nah, it doesn't go in that. Is what I feel like screaming at them, you know? Just be like, that ain't a f***ing carbonara, eh? That's an Alfredo that you want. You ordered the carbonara. But you can't do that because then they get, you know, all, oh, I didn't know. Why are you yelling at me? It's not their fault, you know? And I would never yell at a customer either. But just from a chef's perspective, that's sometimes what you feel like saying, you know? Just, if you don't know what you're ordering, why did you order it? Or ask some questions about it before you order it, you know? That's what the wait staff are for. Sorry, rant. I'll finish the rant. I'm sure everyone's enjoying watching the chef go off his nut. Popcorn out for Mitty, keep ranting. God, some of the orders that I've received over the years in a kitchen, you just look at it and go, what? You know, when people are like, yeah, can I get my Scotch fillet? Can I get it medium with no blood? I mean, probably not. For two reasons. First up, there's no such thing as blood in steak. It ain't blood. The animal was bled when it was originally slaughtered. So here's the thing for everyone. The rarest of steaks, and steaks in general, do not have to be, I was going to say do not have to be well done. No shit. Steaks, like raw steak, has no blood in it. What you see, the red liquid when you cook a steak, to your particular liking, that is not blood. That is myoglobin. That is a protein that is naturally occurring in red meat. That is made up from protein and water. Now, I don't expect general members of the public to know this, but it always makes me laugh when somebody says, can I have my steak medium with no blood? And every time I just want to be like, I can give you the steak raw and you're still not going to have any blood. William, can you broaden, expand on your question there? What about bacteria? Bless you, Star. Jesus. Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. I guess if you're referring, you know, like your question does kind of make sense. If you're referring to bacteria growth and production in steaks that are cooked less than 60 degrees Celsius internal, Sure. Absolutely. It's a thing. That could potentially be a problem if you then proceed to hold that steak between 5 degrees and 60 degrees Celsius for more than 2 hours. However, if you don't do that, it's okay. Same with raw steak. If you're serving a steak tartare or a steak carpaccio or any of that, you need to obviously make sure that that steak is held at the correct temperature right up until you're ready to serve it. That, even though your question technically didn't make sense in the scheme of things, that technically probably answers your question in relation to what about bacteria. Jeet says, how about a creme brulee for our in-flight? Hey Jeet, if you want to whip together a creme brulee, I ain't going to complain, and I don't see any of our customers complaining either, to be honest with you, mate. That sounds like a spectacularly good idea. I can wholeheartedly get behind that. Yeah, I was just going to say something similar, Sean. Now that we've left the sort of semi-photogrammetric, semi-standard scenery areas, and we're back into this, legitimate photogrammetric, it's just incredible, isn't it? Looks like we're on another planet. Almost looks like the surface of Jupiter. Jeet, your first step is already incorrect. Like, not significantly incorrect, but one thing that people don't realise when you are grilling a piece of steak, don't char the steak until the last moment. Because if you char the steak early on, all you are doing is burning it. Okay, we are well and truly way too fast. Oh, you were mid-process. My bad, mate. My bad. But what I was gonna say is you want to get the crust first before you then go adding charcoal flavouring through the charring process. So until you have that seal on all sides of the steak, that's when you can start adding char. But my bad. I didn't realise you were doing a Chicago, a black and blue. g'day, Haz. How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. You've actually arrived at a pretty good time. You're going to watch us... Ooh. Let's not reduce the speed quite that much, hey, Bryce? That would be a bad decision. Oh my god! This thing, okay. I'm taking over now because it seems to have, Yes, I know the autopilot is off, I just turned it off. Thank you very much, Airbus. Nah, you're all good. You are all good, Hazexar. As I said, you've arrived at a very, very, very good time. So is Mr. Bikes and More, actually. Jumping on the ground here at Herat. Trying to use little nav map and we haven't quite lined up with the runway 100% here. That's alright. Yeah, now we are way too quick for this. Way too quick leads to more exciting landing content. Yes, you are not wrong, William. That is true. However, as we've only got 1 to 2 knots of wind here at Herat, we're just going to head out over the city, come back around, and come in from the other side. Hey, g'day Nick, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing bloody good, mate. Hope you're doing bloody good. Doing behind me. So I reckon Mr. Dale is going to beat us down onto the ground now. I had to do a go-round, Has. I was lining up for final, but we were still at like 230 knots ground speed. So I couldn't drop the landing gear, I couldn't drop the flaps. I was like, you know what? Let's just go over to the city of Herat and let's do it again from the opposite direction. So like right now, we are already slow enough to pull out the landing gear, even though we are quite a distance from the airport. I did not watch the Sid Squad stream today, Has, because unfortunately I was at work when it was on. And we had a few big tables, which is why I got called into work, so I didn't even really have the opportunity to put it on in the background.
Yes, we can.
Why are you not? Wow. Nice. I was going to say, why is this thing not losing any altitude? We had not 100% trimmed correctly for landing. No, Mini, it just refused to flare. I don't know if my speed was maybe a little too low, but yeah, it just refused to flare. You probably saw me sort of doing that on the yoke. Nothing was happening. But I do think my speed was probably a little bit low. We were getting close to 120 knots on short final there, which is actually stall speed. So that's probably why I couldn't get a proper flare out of it. But as HazXR said, nice landing, not bad. I'll take it. Probably the best overall landing I've done so far in the A310. other than the speed. But that's easy. You can fix that. Sean says he put some pictures in Discord with his livery. I know. How good is it that the traffic injector mod makes people show up in their correct aircraft if it's in the traffic injector mod? It's so good. It's very weird flying with generic Cessnas and Airbus A330s. When people were clearly not in those aircraft. Sorry, I'm just admiring the fact that I can actually see Sean in his correct aircraft. Let's have a quick look at your photos, shall we, Sean? Sean! Nice! Won't let me... Oh, there we go. Very nice, Sean. Sean's wearing the McLaren. Yeah. That's so nice, man. Looks so good. What a livery. Whoever did that livery, well done. That's really, really nice. Alright, well, I'm not going to do the shutdown process with you guys right now. Mainly because in another 2 and a bit hours or so, we're back again in the sim, streaming once more. So, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, thank you very much for all being here in the stream. Appreciate every single one of you. Whether you're in the chat, whether you flew along with us, whether you did both, massive shout out to all of you for being here. Appreciate it. Guys, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yes, if you did like the stream and you haven't yet hit the like button, please, it would be I would be eternally grateful if you could. Helps myself, helps the channel, helps with the algorithm, all those variously important things that you need to sort of get help with on YouTube. But ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, wherever you are in the world, you make sure that you look after yourself, stay safe, stay well, don't do anyone that I wouldn't do, and I'll hopefully catch some of your smiling faces, I know it's bedtime for quite a few of you, especially over in the US, in our stream in a couple of hours' time. I can't wait for your new monitor either. Guys, thank you very much to all of you, and yeah,